Welcome to Boneyard Garage. So today I'm working on the Country Squire tractor that I picked up last weekend. I took the hood off. I was messing around with the starter generator. Wasn't charging. The generator is good. I did a bench test on that. I think the regulator is fried. Someone hooked it up backwards. So gotta get a new regulator. And I also got this light on the back. And I unbolted it already. I'm going to take it over to the bench and take it apart and see how bad it is inside to see if I can get it to work. So I'm going to get that off and get it on the bench. Okay, so I got the light off, got it on the bench. The screw that's holding this bezel on is stripped. I don't know if you can see it. So I'm going to use a pair of vice grips on the back side to try to loosen it up. Okay, that seemed to work. I have to get a new screw for it. See that? Stripped out. Oh, it's actually glass, not plastic. You don't see that much anymore. Cool. Be careful with that. Bulb seems good. It's not corroded. There's the switch, the main power wire, which is cloth. I'm assuming this is the ground. Switch seems to work. Okay, so I'm going to get this all cleaned up. There. Looks like it's a two-way switch. You got your main power coming in from this stud here. That goes to the center part of the switch. And then you got two others here. And there's also another hole in this light. So I don't know if there was another bulb in there or what that's about. I'm not too worried about it. I just want to try to get the light to work. So I'm going to get this cleaned up. And I'll be back to let you know how I make out. Okay, so I got it cleaned up the best I could get it. Of course I'm going to paint it when I make sure it all works. So I got my little battery hooked up here. I got my test leads coming off and my test light going to the light. So I'm gonna want to make sure we're getting power out of that switch. Make sure it's working. So let me get the camera set up and we'll give that a test, see if it works. Okay, so let's see what happens here. We're going to go right from the switch wire. I got it grounded on the base. We got power there. We got power wire that comes into the switch. We have power there. I'm going to touch one of these terminals here and see if we have power to it. Nothing here. I'm turning the switch. Wants to work. There we go. Yeah, it must be all corroded in the switch. Okay, so I'm going to have to take the switch off. I'm either going to try to take it apart and clean it, or maybe I'll just put a toggle switch in there. Okay, let's see if we can get this switch out. Unhook my wires so we don't short anything out. Try to get this knob off without breaking it. It looks like it just pulls off. I don't see no set screw. Get a bigger screwdriver. Stuck on it pretty good. Okay, there we go. Looks like the insert stayed on there, which is okay. I can slide it back on. Let's see if we can get this nut off. Find a socket that fits that. Looks like it's a 1/2 inch. It came off easy enough. A little burr on that insert. There we go. Be cool if I can get the switch to work, but if not, I'll just throw a toggle switch in it. It's not going to be restored back to total original, but I want to keep it as close as I can. So the switch has a B on it right here. That's for the battery. And then an L, that must go to the light. And then there's the R. I bet that was for reverse. And that's probably what that other hole is for. Right there. Maybe it had another light in there for reverse. Or this was a reverse and this was a tail light. So, I'm not sure. I'm not going to even worry about that. See if I can get the switch to work, and we'll just use this bulb for the tail light. So let's see if we can get the switch apart. It's got 3 tabs on it. One here, one there. The other one over here. We're going to pry those up, and that will release this backing plate. Okay. Get comes off. Oh. Yeah, got some contacts here. They actually look pretty worn down. But I'll clean them up. And then here's the other half. So that just spins. These two tabs spins and makes contact between the battery here and then either here or here for whatever light you put on. So I'm going to get a little sandpaper. We'll clean this up and put the switch back together and see if it works. So I'll do that and I'll come back so I don't bore you guys. Okay, so I took a little wire brush and some sandpaper. I cleaned it up the best I could. I also did the little terminal here. And I sprayed a little lubrication on here to make it spin nice. So what we're going to do, we're going to put it back together now. So I'm going to take it, I'm going to put this back in. And here there's two little grooves and two little notches here where this slides in. Okay, once you get that in, I'm going to set that aside for a minute somewhere. Before I put it together, I want to take some white electrical grease. And I'm going to put it on the terminals here, the ones that I cleaned up. So hopefully that will help with any of the corrosion that comes on there. It'll probably make it slide a little easier. Okay, so I got that. Get this back on. Okay. Now what we got to do is we got to line up these three notches. It only goes on one way where they line up. Like so. And then I'm going to take my pliers and these tabs, I'm going to bend back over to lock the backing on. Okay, so we got the tabs all bent over, the switches back together. Feels good. So let's give it a test, see if it works. I'll take my positive lead, put it on the positive side of the switch. It's going to be kind of hard to do here. Okay, we got power here. On, off, on, off. Cool, it works good. So there, I'm happy with that. We get to keep the old switch, make it look original. So I'm going to get this all back into the housing and wire it up. And I'll be back to show you guys. Okay, so we have the light all together. Cleaned up pretty good, and I actually put an LED bulb in it. You can see it, just to help from don't draw as much. So let's see if it works. I got the ground hooked up, positive hooked up to my post. Works good. So if any of you guys out there could tell me if that is for reverse light. I'm assuming it probably is with the R on the switch, and it's kind of pointing downward, like towards the ground. But if anybody knows, let me know. I may go back and try to find a socket that fits that and get that to work too. But, okay, YouTubers, thanks for checking my videos out. If you like what you see, please hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and you guys have a good night.